I think the answer to the question I asked in the title,
"Is Fisker listening to me?"
yeah, that one, is complex, and how you personally feel about it can definitely contribute to an accurate conclusion. Another question that goes right along with that is, how important are your comments in the comments section? Believe it or not, I make videos for you, and my goal is for you to understand electric vehicles and the Fisker Ocean better. But I wouldn't be able to do that without your insights, input, and feedback. That said, does Fisker listen to customer feedback? First, the configurator, and this is in no particular order, by the way. This was a mistake. A $70,000 sport model is good for nobody, and I don't think I was the only one who thought this, because the $5,900 Ultimate and Fisker Intelligent Pilot package are no longer existent anywhere in Fisker published materials. The One and Extreme get all the stuff, and the Rad Givers allegedly have said that they're looking for a better way to provide these options for the Sport and Ultra. The result of the configurator being published has made the Extreme and the Ocean One obviously a better looking deal by comparison. But I do think the disappearance of those Fisker Intelligent Pilot and Ultimate package options in that specific way is a result of customer feedback. It was a while back, but Fisker actually had a survey asking about how we wanted to take our deliveries. They asked about whether or not we wanted to trade in, what we currently drive, how we preferred picking up our vehicles, and how we would navigate the logistics of a trade-in. I think this was a good set of data for Fisker to use for their rollout strategy for deliveries. I am certain that the NACS decision was a result of a "you talk, we listen" point of view, and Fisker never would have agreed to add this connector, let alone even let anybody know they were going to, had it not been for all the automakers that already converted, and for the community reaching out as well.
Let the past die. Kill it, if you have to.
Some viewers think I took the one-pedal driving topic a little too far, and there is allegedly a rumor that Fisker is going to add it in a software update sometime in the future. This is not confirmed, but if it happens, it's a direct result of customer feedback. Ah yes, the US conversion fiasco, August of 2022. Remember that, when we had 8 days to decide if we were going to buy a North American assembled EV or not, and if it was not assembled in North America, we had to get in a contract before August 17th, or we were going to lose any ability to get a tax credit? Well, Fisker actually jumped on that and gave the people in the United States an opportunity to lock in the ability to earn a tax credit. They selected an allotment of Ultra and Sport trims and let us decide if we wanted to go ahead and move forward with forfeiting our refundable portion of our reservation. The units were limited. They made the Extreme seem like it was a limited quantity, but obviously they want every trim to be the Extreme. But the Sport and Ultra models disappeared very quickly. And this may not have been customer feedback at all. It may have just been something that Fisker wanted to do for its customers. And if you're interested in how bad I was at making videos a year ago, it's in the right corner or the description. I think Fisker asking for $5,000 18 months before they're going to deliver a vehicle is a little hard to swallow. And even for some Fisker diehards, it was a little too much time and too much money. So the Ocean One waitlist was a good way to let folks stay in line without that gigantic commitment. And I know some of them won't be getting an Ocean One because it obviously is a waitlist, but I do hope they have the first pick of the early Extreme deliveries. And I'm pretty certain the cause of the waitlist in general was customer feedback.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
As useless as the Rad Giver has rightfully earned a reputation for being, it was a good way for Fisker to flag repeat customer feedback. And we'll never know exactly what they used or how they used it, but I'm pretty sure the Rad Giver and the feedback that we've been typing and asking and sending and repeatedly waiting for has played a role in how the Ocean rollout has happened. Also, test drives. I think the test drive launch events and the ability for us to do test drives has definitely been a result of customer feedback. It is literally the most common comment I get on this channel. And thank you guys so much for all that great feedback. Now, some of us are already getting a chance to do a test drive. Now let's look at some of your comments. Do you think the Ocean will have Sentry mode? I think this is a great one to put in this video because if they listen to feedback, those that switched from a Tesla will miss this feature. But there's no news on whether or not Fisker is going to do it right now. Can I confirm if the Ocean will get the new LFP batteries? CATL has launched a new LFP battery, and I think once we get all of the true homologation numbers, it will be obvious whether or not the Ocean has the new batteries. And at the end of the day, I don't really care what technology it has. I just need to know how fast it charges and how far it will go on that charge. I got somebody really enjoying the content. If you feel the same way, smash that like button and definitely hit the bell. I appreciate it. Does the Fisker Ocean have air-conditioned front seats? No. How is that possible from a $70,000 car? One of the top missions of Fisker as a company is to be sustainable. I guess that could be an excuse. The Teslas don't offer it either, but if that's a deal breaker, I completely understand. Thanks for your comment. Right-hand drive markets. The UK already has a physical location, which is a good sign. Australia and New Zealand are kind of always late to the EV game, unfortunately. I would expect the UK much earlier than Australia or New Zealand, but if they are producing right-hand drive models and the demand is there, and Fisker needs the demand, then I can see it going to Australia or New Zealand. But I wouldn't say anytime at all before 2024. And probably at that point Q2. Thanks for your comment. Will Fisker open an experience center on Easter Island or Canada anytime this decade? I covered this in a short. The Ocean One deliveries are supposed to be done by September. I don't know how this is possible, and just like one of my recent commenters said, I'll believe it when I see it, but we definitely have some hope up north. And I know there's a little tiny Easter Island in Canada, but if you mean this Easter Island in Chile, kind of, I don't think Fisker's going to be there anytime soon. Thanks for your comment. And yes, it's disappointing that Montreal won't have a service center right away. If deliveries come after 2023, will the models be considered 2024? I think this is a VIN and production type of identification, so early 2024, might be some 23 models out there. Probably the calendar year you get it is going to be a good read on what model year you end up with. I hope a test drive will be available in Austria soon. If I find anything out, I'll definitely keep you posted. And since I don't get all the updates for all the areas, I'm pretty sure the best thing to do is just head to the website, hit that test drive request, and hopefully they'll reach out to you. I'm getting Tesla's new universal charger. I definitely recommend that. Fisker does offer a wall box charger. But since they are switching to NACS in 2025, it would be annoying to have to get an adapter to charge in your own house when the switch happens. So if you haven't selected a home charging solution yet, that would make the new Tesla universal wall charger the best deal. It goes all the way to 48 amps, and it can be a 1772 or an NACS adapter. It's also a direct connection, and it costs the same. What's my take on fast charging at home? First of all, fast charging at home is not possible. 11 kilowatts is not fast. And I don't know if I can create a lot of driving scenarios in which 11 kilowatts is needed at home. The fastest level 2 I have accessible for me is 24 amp, 6 kilowatt. I've never had a problem being full by the morning. However, my electricity rate is constant, no peak times. But if you have a 100+ mile commute, one way, and you're doing 25,000 miles a year, that's really the only time that this really fast charging is going to matter. Also, slower chargers have less risk of fire.
Where's the fire risk? It's if you get the wrong one of these. Bryant or Hubble. That's it. They're actually the same.
So just get whichever one's cheaper. Remember, we're all, as a society, trying to nail down this at-home EV charging thing, so 32 amp doesn't bother me. And final point, how often do you really arrive at home at 0% and then have to charge back to 100%? Regarding the supercharger network, a non-Tesla EV gets only 20 miles per hour. Tesla is cutting prices and killing GM, Ford, and Fisker. GM and Ford are now refocusing on hybrids. I can't verify that 20 mile an hour number. If you're talking about a destination charger, yes, sure. However, 50 kilowatts is more than 20 miles an hour. And an 800 volt vehicle plugged into a supercharger could get as slow of a speed as 50 kilowatt. As far as the pricing, legacy OEMs had every opportunity to vertically integrate. They chose not to in order to save money. Here's Jim Farley on that.
Yeah. So to save probably $500 a vehicle, or let's say 350 quid a vehicle, we farmed out all the modules that control the vehicles to our suppliers because we could bid them against each other. The problem is the software are all written by 150 different companies and they don't talk to each other and we can't even understand it all. And so even though it says Ford on the front, it's actually their IP.
Legacy OEMs chose to outsource everything to save a couple bucks for over 50 consecutive years. And when the industry changed and they had to reinvent, well, they have to reinvent because they own nothing but a factory and a workforce. Why 15 months for the adapter to become available? One of my commenters answered with, a firm commitment to a CCS component supplier, this is a very quality educated guess, and I'm sure that's as good as any of us can do right now. I haven't seen an Ocean on the roads in Seattle. Oceans are only being delivered in 5 states. I don't know which 5 states, but Washington State might not be one of them. Can Fisker get the $2,500 Canada Clean Air rebate? I did as much research as I would know on this topic, and you can't trust my opinion, but here's a link. I think it would be great to hear about the risks, rights, and implications of buying a car from a company that is completely new to the market. What would happen if Fisker goes bankrupt? Luckily, we have historical data on this to look at. Fisker Automotive, not to be confused with Fisker Inc., did go bankrupt, but the company was restructured, and that company still exists today, just under a different name. So if the concern is parts and service and maintenance, there's a really good chance that some kind of company will still exist in the future. And Fisker isn't the only automotive corporation in the United States to go bankrupt in the last 25 years. Remember Chrysler and GM in 2009? Those were both Chapter 11s, and both companies are still alive and kicking today. My buddy Brian from my in-person video in Brooklyn asked me for a Q2 breakdown. That video is in the top right corner and the description. And since you stuck around till the end, let's do some hot takes. What's the best value Ocean? It's definitely the Ocean 1 or the Ocean Extreme. However, what's the best resale flip Ocean trim? That's definitely the Ultra with the Force E package. I know that's definitely a long wait, but 64K is going to look really good to a flipper and a resale buyer. Here's another hot take. Do I care about the Ronin? No. But I don't do drag strips or track days. There's nothing like that around here where I live. If you want to see a demolition derby or a mud bog or a dirt bike race, yeah, you've come to the right place, but we don't have the ability to access things that would allow me to access a 4-figure horsepower number. And another super hot take regarding the price of the Ronin, I'd rather have 2 plaids, an Alaska, and a pair. Why 2 plaids?
One to rock and one to stock.
Finally, another hot take. Why get the Ocean Sport? Are there any advantages at all? And I think there's one that really sticks out, and that's lithium iron phosphate. Thank you guys so much for watching and for your feedback. Take an Ocean road trip right here and find out if the range really does matter. And after I take a test drive, I'll put that video right here. YouTube thinks you should watch this one. Subscribe for more. We'll see you on the next one.
Hey, smash the like button.
Thank you.